Hello and welcome to Nice and Blunt. My name is Adam Riancho, and today it is Thursday, August 15th, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Time for another live stream mock draft on Underdog. Let's begin. Okay, here we are, and we're going to be hopping into Mr. Unlimited's Wild Ride. I do not think this is relating to Russell Wilson, but the pun is definitely there. Unlimited diarrhea. Anyways, this is a 5 entry max, $10 buy-in tournament, and you can hop into two of these in terms of $10 tournaments at the moment. It's either this one or the Flock Community Contest. But we've already done some Flock contests already, and I do think the payout structure is better in this. The playoff structure is better over there in the Flock contest. If you make it to the playoffs, it's a 1-versus-1 setup and a 48-seat final. However, you need to finish first out of 12 in your league just to make the playoffs. Here, top 2 advance and they get their money back. Over there on the Flock contest, if you don't make it to the final week, week 17, you don't get any return on investment. You do not make any money at all. So it's a little bit less likely to make any cash. So here, as long as we finish top 2 out of 12, we will get the money back. That's $10. And if we do make the final, it's $50, just like the Flock tournament. And then it goes up from there. Top 20 gets $100. Top 10 gets 500. Fifth place gets 2,000. And then first place gets 10K. So it looks like Albie is here with me. He is ready and wishing me good luck. I hope I get a good pick. But we're going to hop into this tournament. I am on a 6-second delay, so if you want to join me, hit that button right now, and I will hop in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. It's loading. The draft is being fetched. We have 4 spots left. 4 more spots will be underway pretty shortly, but now it's full. It is full. And if you wanted to hop in, I hope you made it. If not, you'll have to try next time. And I get pick 6. I get a solid pick. I am very comfortable with pick 6. Looks like Albie is in at pick 11. So your Luck of the Irish has transferred over to the Mexican over here. And I will take it. I will take any top 6 pick I can get. I think pick 2 is the best. But at number 6, we're either in line for Amon-Ra St. Brown, Justin Jefferson, or perhaps one of those other receivers that falls. I am happy with pick 6. Good luck to you, Albie. Ouch, indeed, at pick 11. Got pick 3 in my last one and snagged CeeDee Lamb. Nice value. Nice value there. But, yeah, I'm hoping for, who knows, maybe I'll go Jefferson and set up a Sam Darnold team. That would be kind of nice, but let's see what happens here. We will be drafting very, very soon. We are now on the clock. It's a 20-second timer, so we will be doing at least 2 of these on the live stream this evening, maybe even 3. We'll see how many of this tournament we can enter. And it looks like in this draft, CeeDee Lamb also falls to number 3. Maybe people are worried about that contract situation. I'm not. I'm going to keep operating like by the time we hit week 1. Lamb will be under contract, and I'm not worried about it. Bijan goes pick 4, so I will be getting potentially... Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Justin Jefferson. I am going to set myself up for a Sam Darnold team. So I'll probably go with like an elite quarterback and then wait possibly until round like 17 and grab Darnold. Knowing he's going to play a full season is like so much more comfortable to take him now. And I think there is some legit upside. I think you can shit on him as much as you want, but I will go into a little further detail in tonight's uploaded video. It's currently exporting in Final Cut. All of my quarterback rankings are going to be posted before this evening is over, and there is some high upside in that Vikings offense. I'll put it at that. You just have to look at Nick Mullins' stats last season to see what he can do. in this offense. But Albie in that draft went CD, Waddle, Kyron, Lamar, and Andrews were the first 5 picks. Love that start, man. Excellent, excellent combo. Lamb and Waddle. If Tyreek Hill goes down, you have 2 top 5 receivers. Love to go wide receiver, Kyron, and getting the Lamar Andrews stack is perfect. So, in this draft, we see Jahmyr Gibbs fall to pick 14, and Bijan goes at 4, Breece at 7. St. Brown falls to 8. That's nice value on Amon-Ra. Followed by A.J. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison at 11. Puka, Drake London at the turn. Gibbs, Jonathan Taylor is how it's finished up. So we could potentially go Saquon if we really wanted to, but I think I'm going to skip out on Saquon. Maybe I do take him, but nah, I'm going to go with Cooper Kupp. Last year, in line to be a top 5 receiver, and actually with the injury to, you know what, never mind. I'll just take an elite running back. I'll go Saquon. We don't take Saquon that often. I'll just stick with ADP. I'll go Saquon. I would have gone Cooper Kupp if Matthew Stafford did not get hurt today with a hamstring injury. He is on the thumbnail, and there is some relevant news regarding him. But given there's a bit of quarterback concern there, I'll pass on Cooper Kupp above ADP. I'll just take Saquon in line with the pricing. But Justin Jefferson, Saquon, not a bad start. And we will probably go with receiver next and maybe an elite quarterback up next. But Bobby Digital back in the chat with your quintessential phrase, pants down, John Brown. Okay. When you say that, sometimes I feel like you're just criticizing me and telling me that I just made a terrible pick. Honestly, sometimes I probably do. But I'm sure that that's just what you like to say. I doubt it correlates to me personally every single time. I'm not going to take it personally. But sometimes I wonder if that's what you're insinuating. But I doubt it. I doubt you'd be watching this much if you thought I was making atrocious picks every single time. But after Saquon, Olave, Derrick Henry goes early. A-Chain, we're now on the clock. We'll recap that in a bit. But Evans falling 5 spots. Okay, I'll just go with Evans. I got him ranked in the same tier as DK Metcalf, higher tier than anyone else. So I'll go with Mike Evans. I'm comfortable with that. Kind of a unique build. Evans usually goes right at the turn, so not too many teams have him with Justin Jefferson in the 3rd round. If they do have him with Jefferson, it'd be usually in the 2nd, and it's unlikely you'd have the Jefferson, Saquon, Mike Evans combo. But I have been seeing Evans fall a little bit more recently. I'm not quite sure why. Not totally sure what the reason for that is. I think it maybe just fatigue of drafting him, but I'm very comfortable with Evans at this price. But Bobby Digital does not say it to me. I'm glad. I just like to say it. My friends and I are in our fantasy football Discord, find it hilarious. I'm not one to criticize. I'd give opinions if you allowed. Of course, you can always give opinions. You can criticize if you want. I'll take it. I don't care. People can voice their opinion. As long as you don't bring my mother into things, then you're never going to get banned from the channel. I'm never going to be upset about it. That's happened once. Somebody that I literally have not seen in the chat since that happened, like, mentioned, I don't know if it was my mom or somebody else's mom, but I was not happy about that. And I haven't seen them since that happened. But anyways, just passionate about fantasy football and enjoy your content, vibe, and sense of humor. Appreciate it, bro. Also, Metcalf, Waddle, Neighbors, or Smitty, full PPR, rank them. When you say Smitty, I assume you mean Devontae Smith. That's the only Schmitty I can think of. But maybe I don't go elite QB. Maybe I just take Kelsey. Kelsey's fallen 3 spots. It's not great, but no, I will be going with elite quarterback. That's what we mentioned. That's what I'm going to set up. I know I'm going to go with Darnold at the end of the draft. So let's grab Mahomes. Never really going to regret Mahomes. I was a little hopeful that maybe Rashee Rice would make it back down to 54, but he does not. Um, Kelsey obviously goes. I wasn't expecting Kelsey at all. So maybe we go Xavier Worthy at 54, and who knows, maybe we get a really good value on Hollywood Brown later. But I like having a stud quarterback for sure. But back to your question, Bobby: Metcalf, Waddle, Neighbors, or Smitty? Full PPR, rank them. I am not a believer in Neighbors this year. I think in full PPR he's a little bit more valuable, but I'd still probably have him as the fourth guy. I would go Metcalf, then Waddle, then Devontae Smith, then Malik Neighbors. I think the upside with Waddle and Devontae Smith, if their counterparts in their offenses go down, is truly league winning. And I do see them scoring more touchdowns than Neighbors. But Metcalf, especially with a recent injury to Tyler Lockett, is inside my top 16. And I do think Metcalf is my favorite there. You can really go with whoever you want between Waddle and Devontae Smith, but I will be updating my receiver rankings, and I'm going to put Waddle above Devontae when that happens. So I'd go Metcalf, Waddle, Smitty, and then Malik Neighbors. I'm willing to be wrong about Neighbors just because I don't want to bet on Daniel Jones. But let's take a look. Wow, Pickens falling here. Only because people are worried about the Brandon Ayuk trade, but that feels less and less likely. We're going to go with the value on Pickens. You've seen me draft him at the end of round 3 in the past, and maybe I get burned here if Ayuk does get traded, but at the moment that still hasn't happened. I still think he's going to stay in San Francisco. So assuming Pickens is the clear number 1 without Ayuk, this is a massive value. And Xavier Worthy was already sniped at pick 50, so can't even stack with Mahomes anyway. I'll take Pickens here and hope for the best because I think he has much more higher upside than Ridley or Terry McLaurin. And last year he went over like 1,100 yards with a terrible quarterback situation. It should be a little better this year, especially with no Deontay Johnson. You know he's going to get more target volume. Guaranteed. So I feel good about this start. We have our elite quarterback unstacked, not ideal, but Mahomes can throw for 5,000 plus yards and it works out. He also spreads it around. So sometimes stacking isn't always like necessary with Mahomes. And our receivers are pretty fucking good. We got Justin Jefferson, Mike Evans, and George Pickens. I agree. I did steal George Pickens. But Bobby Digital, I will remember your name even if you don't win BBM5. But good luck to you. I hope you take home a ton of money on that. But Jesse Winchester, I'm in a 10-man PPR draft. Have Breece, Kyron, Olave, London. Thoughts on my draft and what I should now do. So I'm assuming it's kind of like a slow draft. You're fucking loaded at running back. Olave and London should be good top 15 receivers, but a little bit dicey given their situations. I would try to hoard some receivers given its PPR. Wow, Richardson falls. I am kind of pissed. I took Mahomes now with the ability to go Richardson at 67. I kind of just want to fucking take him here, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go with Rachaad White. Ah, shit. I accidentally queued up Dave Montgomery, and that was the wrong thing to do. I regret doing that because I have Mike Evans. Rachaad White pairs up with that Bucs offense, but given the current injury to Jahmyr Gibbs, I don't think it's like bad, you know? Like there's definitely a ton of upside with Montgomery. If Gibbs misses any time, you get a top 5 running back in Dave Montgomery for those weeks. So I don't feel terrible about it, but for the sake of correlation, Evans would be good. At this point, though, knowing what happened, I wish I took like ETN at 43 and got Richardson here at 68. Richardson, 2 rounds after Mahomes, is a better pick for sure. And with more rushing upside, there's less need for a stack with Richardson. So hindsight is 2020, but kind of shocked to see Kyler go above Richardson and no quarterbacks to go at all in the 5th round when 4 go in the 4th. Kind of a mistake, but only can say it's a mistake in hindsight. In the moment, Mahomes is not someone I regret. He could win league MVP, and I'm not going to regret it at all. So Would rather have Richardson at 67 than Mahomes at 43, but having one of them guaranteed is not bad. But rock out, do I like ESPN or Yahoo better? I honestly have never used Yahoo for their fantasy. I've used ESPN since I started playing fantasy. Sleeper's not bad, but ESPN is my go-to, and it's kind of just because I'm a creature of habit. I just don't really want to change. I know the format well, and I think they do it decently well. Not like in love with supporting Disney. I've worked for Disney in the past, and they're not my favorite employer. But that's kind of not here or there. I prefer ESPN. We're just gonna go with Keon Coleman. We could go Evan Ingram, but I'm gonna take Keon. Lock up one of the better receiver options this late. I could have gone Jordan Addison there, but a bit of a reach. Keon has league-winning upside, that's for sure, in Buffalo, with all the volume available. But thumbs up to you as well, Jesse Winchester. Good luck in your draft, and I hope you get some good receiver values moving forward. But especially in full PPR, I love the Olave pick. I think there's a ton of volume in line for him. I'm a little worried about the touchdown production in New Orleans, but he should be fine. You have such good running backs, like Brees in PPR also is a fucking stud. So you're looking pretty at the moment. I think you can cool it on running back. That's for sure, Jesse. Running back is probably set for quite a while. Anyways, Najee goes after Keon Coleman, followed by Jameson Williams, James Conner, Jake Ferguson, Aaron Jones, Jalen Warren, Curtis Samuel, Jordan Addison. And at the moment, Evan Ingram is falling, but I probably get sniped by Team 7, if not earlier, given Team 7 does not have a tight end. If Evan Ingram is there at 91, I will be pounding that draft button faster than you can say... No, Evan Ingram's already gone. Faster than you can say snipe. But off the board, and this is not the best spot in the draft, but you know what? Fuck it. Let's take a shot on Brock Bowers. I don't draft him very often, but some potential. He was used a lot in that preseason game, and he is talented. Let's go with Bowers just to mix it up. I really wanted tight end there. I was hoping for Jake Ferguson, but we get sniped on both Ferguson and Ingram. It's okay. We'll be all right. Bowers will get the job done, and we'll take another tight end pretty soon. But starting to target Brock more as of late. Albie, I understand. I think I may have been a little bit too dismissive of him lately. There's some very high upside, but just the fact that he plays in Las Vegas with the Raiders is why I can talk myself out of it. There's potentially higher upside with Njoku, as well as Dallas Goedert going later. But we are approaching the cliff at the position, and I do not want to get boxed out for sure. So I might go with like Bowers here, maybe even double up with Njoku if I don't get sniped at the moment. But if not, I can pivot to Hopkins, and that's good value. That's very tempting, honestly. Every team after me has a tight end, so I think I'm going to pass on Njoku. Kind of want him, but I'm going to take Hopkins at a value. Pick 102 for DeAndre Hopkins. He was first player on the board when I took Bowers, so definitely worth it, I think. I know there's some injury concerns, but to get him 4 full rounds after DeAndre Hopkins, I'll take that swing. I'll gamble on Hopkins this late after Khalil Shakir, after Cortland Sutton. In best ball, I think you can justify it. Not like a high floor guy, but definitely a high upside type of play when those spike weeks hit. Last year, he did have some big games with Will Levis. So, well, let's just hope he stays healthy. He's very talented. I could argue he's their most talented weapon in Tennessee. So, at this price, I'll go for it. But the team's coming out somewhat nicely. We got Jefferson, Mike Evans, George Pickens, Keon Coleman, DeAndre Hopkins. I think a nice balance of veterans and young guys. We got the rookie Keon, and George Pickens should be elevated this year, barring the Ayuk trade that at this point I don't think is going to happen. If it does, it's going to be such a bittersweet, like lukewarm move. Like at this point, we're all kind of fed up with hearing about that shit. Like just stay in San Francisco, just sign your contract, man. Like nobody gives a shit. Just fucking stay. Everybody wants you to. Like other than in Pittsburgh, and if you're a Steelers fan, I guess, like nobody actually wants to see that happen. I think it's more interesting if he stays with the Niners. They're a better team, but I'm gonna go Dallas Goedert. We have Bowers, who's not like my favorite tight end. I think there's some upside there, but we'll go with another guy I can trust. And now maybe I can get TJ Hawkinson as well as my third, and then be like really fucking loaded at tight end with really high upside, and also set up that Darnold stack I mentioned earlier. But we're going to be targeting some running backs with these next two picks. If we don't get a really good value at receiver, that's definitely the position I need to hit coming up, because I only have Saquon and Montgomery. Saquon's a very good hero to have. Montgomery, very high floor play with league-winning potential if Gibbs does miss time. But they're my only two, and they also have the same bye week. So I need a few other running backs before the cliff happens at that position. But Dev is asking, do I think the 49ers can win a Super Bowl without Ayuk? I do not. I don't even think they can really win one with him. I think this is their last best chance, given they haven't paid Purdy yet. I think next year, once they pay Purdy, there's going to be some cap casualties. They're probably going to get rid of Debo, most likely. He has good trade value. I think they're probably going to move off of some of those defensive players. If there's a really good trade option for even George Kittle, they could move off of him. I would be worried about them after this season, and I think this is their last best chance to win a Super Bowl. It probably doesn't even happen. I think I'd rather bet on the... Who do we go with here? We could go Jacoby with that Bowers combo, but I'd rather not double invest in Las Vegas. With Jerome Ford on the board, you know I love Jerome Ford. I'm going to take Jerome Ford. Need running back a little bit more than my sixth receiver. So give me Jerome Ford. Feel very safe about that. And with this week 5 bye situation, we'll get good production while Nick Chubb is still on the bench. But no, I think the Niners aren't even my bet to win their division this year. I think the Rams overtake them in division. There's just a little too much noise, a bit of a Super Bowl hangover. It's an older team. The offensive line behind Trent Williams is a little suspect as well. And there's, just kind of weird vibes with them at the moment, especially if they get rid of Ayuk. I don't think they're going to be a better team this year. Maybe if Pearsall wasn't injured, I'd have a little more faith, but I doubt it. I'd rather bet on a team like the Lions to make the Super Bowl, or even the Rams or the Packers or Eagles. I genuinely think the Niners are like the 5 seed this season. They could win the Super Bowl. They could definitely make it back there, but especially if they face off against the Chiefs again, it's not gonna happen. I'll take the Chiefs over the Niners in that hypothetical Super Bowl matchup. That's just my opinion. I could always be wrong. I've been wrong before, but we're pretty solid at tight end at the moment with Bowers and Goddard. So while I could take Hawkinson, I'm not going to force the issue. I'm going to gamble that I can get him coming back around to me in the following round. And with receiver drying up, I'm going to go... I kind of wanted the decision to be made for me. I kind of wanted to get sniped on Dotson. But I think I'm going to go with Darnell Mooney. More of a, just look at these news blurbs. Mooney is locked in for a key role. Meanwhile, 11 hours ago, Jahan Dotson is not locked in as a starter at the moment. So I'm going to take Darnell Mooney. With the big contract, I trust his usage next season. I think he's one of the last receivers you can draft and feel confident about his role. But wow, Tyler Lockett with that injury fell to pick 136. That's 36 spots after where he was going just like 2-3 days ago. People are very concerned about Lockett at the moment. He is 32 years old. So is there some news I am missing? Maybe an update that I just didn't notice. He's got an apparent leg injury, held out of practice again. We'll see what happens. I think it's his age combined with just any bad news at the moment. People are tending to overreact a little bit more. To fall to 136 might be an overreaction with Lockett, because it's not like JSN moved up the board. Oh, I guess JSN moved up slightly. No, not at all. No, wait. Pick 71. He usually goes after Christian Watson. JSN moved up the board a little bit. Just a little bit. So, yeah, Lockett free falling at the moment. But Dev says, I got so much pushback on Twitter for saying they couldn't get a Super Bowl without Ayuk. I completely agree with you. Don't think it's going to happen. I could go Chuba Hubbard here. Was TJ Hawkinson sniped? It looks like he was. Yeah, okay. So then I'm going to grab running back, and kind of in the same breath as Jerome Ford to compensate for this week 5 double bye that I have with Barkley and Montgomery. I'm just going to lock up like good production early on. I'm going to give myself Jerome Ford and Chuba Hubbard with a lot of value early in the season. I feel good about that. So this is the team at the moment. At quarterback, we got Mahomes unstacked. Not great, but not really complaining about it too much. Just wish I had Richardson in the 6th round. At running back, I got Saquon Barkley, Dave Montgomery in the 6th. And then in the 11th round, I took Jerome Ford, and I just took Chuba Hubbard in the 13th. At tight end, we got Brock Bowers in the 8th, Goddard in the 10th. And then receiver is pretty solid. We got Jefferson, Mike Evans at a value, George Pickens at a great value, Keon Coleman in the 7th round, DeAndre Hopkins also at a good value at pick 102, round 9, and then Darnell Mooney we took in round 12. The team is rounding out. The team is coming together, and I probably only need one more running back. I could take another tight end, but it's not necessary given who I have. Bowers and Goddard can definitely get it done, just the two of them. So I think we're probably done at tight end. TJ Hawkinson was the only one I was like trying to target, in all honesty. But what's going on here? Stafford is falling. Given the injury, I guess that makes sense. Darnold goes 161. Wow. Did not think that would happen. Okay. Kind of shocking. I'm just going to take the falling value in Stafford. I think he'll be fine. You're not expecting him to run at all, so a hamstring injury doesn't concern me. It's not ideal. He's kind of older at 36 years old. It's not great, but I still have him ranked above Darnold, and of course he has the same bye as Mahomes. Of course that's what happens. Of course. So probably going to need a third now. Definitely not taking a third tight end, but Jesus. Is this unique to this lobby, or have you guys been seeing Sam Darnold go as high as pick 161 the last 2 days? I haven't seen that happen. I've still been seeing him slept on in round 17. So to go in round 14 is shocking to me. Really didn't expect it. Does that team even have Jordan Addison? They have Hawkinson, but they do not have Jordan Addison. They have Lamar. So, wow. All right. But I still prefer Stafford. I still would have Stafford ranked higher. I get it, though. There's a ton of upside with Sam Darnold. There really is. Dev says, nope, never seen anyone be that dumb. I think round 15, these last 4 picks are where you can start reaching with like guys that go closer to pick 200. Round 14, I think, is still in play where like that's weird. But I could get the stack with Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans here. I could also get the stack with Demarcus Robinson. I'm going to take Baker Mayfield. I should be going DeMarcus. That's what I thought I was going to be doing. But with this double 6 bye, I'm just going to go with Baker Mayfield, who does line up with Mike Evans. And it also opens us up for a Jalen McMillan pick. Or does it? Has McMillan already been taken? Wow, McMillan flying up the board lately. Goes pick 167 in this draft. And we will not be getting Jalen McMillan. That's not going to happen. All right, so we've got three more picks. 1 running back, 2 wide receivers the rest of the way. That's what we need. And I'll probably go with Tyrone Tracy or Jordan Mason, one of these two. Probably Jordan Mason. Higher upside with Jordan Mason. Albie's on the clock. Needs tight end. Goes Ben Sinnott to pair with Laporta. Pretty good combo. Sinnott scares me a little bit, but Ertz is old. Ertz probably gets hurt. Sinnott looked good in the preseason. So my plan for Darnold did not work out. Mason gets sniped. Tracy gets sniped. Yikes. Not great. All right. I'll just go Marvin Mims. There needs to be someone that steps up in Denver. Mims was a second-round pick. Scored a touchdown with Bo Nix in the preseason. Let's hope for the best with Mims. We get him at a value. 9 picks after ADP. I'm not like going to sit here and, tout that this is a league-winning pick, but I think it's a decent value this late in the draft. Not terrible. There is a little bit of upside. But we have a good receiving core. It's not like a pick I'm like critically counting on for the success of my roster. Just filling out some depth, hoping for some touchdown spike weeks. That's all. But Juwan Johnson goes 188. Bryce Young, 189. Jonnu Smith, 190. Devontae Walker, 191. I'm still like flabbergasted that Darnold went above Stafford and Geno Smith in this draft. That's fucking shocking. I understand Darnold over Rodgers, Will Levis, Baker Mayfield, but I'd still take Justin Fields over Darnold. I would still take Geno over Darnold. I would definitely take Stafford over Darnold. But in 3 full games last year, Nick Mullins averaged 18 fantasy points per game. That is a shocking stat. 18 fantasy points per game. Small sample size. But all 3 games, Nick Mullins threw for over 300 yards, averaged 370 in those 3 games. Going to take a swing on Malachi Corley, who's been falling for kind of unsure reasons. I don't understand why Malachi's fallen this much. Like even in this draft, he falls 11 picks to 198. At this late stage, like I think he's worth a gamble. Someone's got to step up in the Jets offense. Mike Williams is probably going to be hurt after like 3 games. So if it's not Tyler Conklin, it could very easily be Corley. If not, it would have to be Alan Lazard, and I'd rather bet on Malachi Corley than Lazard. So I'll take him here. Unstacked, but worth a gamble. Worth a shot. And we're locked into running back with this final pick. We'll be grabbing one of these random handcuffs. I've taken so much Laube. Maybe Madison is the way to go. It looks like recent reports are hyping him up as the number 2 guy. I still think Lauby is better than him, but Lauby's an unproven rookie. Madison at least has experience in the NFL, so maybe just to mitigate some of my investments, start pivoting towards Madison this late. But I'd probably rather go with Tank Bigsby straight up. CEH still looks like the RB2. And we need a Chiefs stack, so it's somewhat justified, but no, don't get me wrong. It's not like, oh, CEH is the stack you want with Mahomes. It's purely just a hedge that maybe Pacheco misses some time. Last year he missed a few games with a concussion, and CH did average 13 points per game in half PPR when Pacheco was out of the lineup. So it appears that he's above Deneric Prince. It appears that way. He did get more touches in the preseason last week. I'm going to go with CEH here. Former first round pick. Let's hope for the best. But let's take a look at Albie's team because he was drafting with me, and then we'll do another draft. Albie has Kyler, Jared Goff, Daniel Jones. Says, whoops. Maybe so he did not want Daniel Jones. But Jahmyr Gibbs, just let me just keep it on the screen. I don't like how when you like want to look at somebody else's roster and you put it in the on the screen, if anyone makes another pick, it just automatically shows you your team. Like, what's the point of that? Doesn't feel smart. Maybe like when it's your pick, show you your roster, but otherwise, like, why does it have to do that? So I'm just gonna wait. We'll give it a few more seconds. The draft is complete, and in Mr. Unlimited's wild ride, let's take a look at Albie's team at pick 11. Numero 11. Kyler stacked up with Marvin Harrison. That's good. Also Michael Wilson. I like that. Jared Goff stacked up with Sam Laporta and Jahmyr Gibbs. That's pretty nice. Gibbs at pick 14. For him to be settling in round 2, it feels odd, but I guess there is some risk. Daniel Jones kind of unnecessary. I think that's what that whoops was in regards to, was referencing. But running back, Jahmyr Gibbs, Aaron Jones, Zach Moss, Nick Chubb, Braylon Allen. Some high upside. Hopefully Aaron Jones stays healthy. If Zach Moss is actually the guy in Cincinnati, then this drop in ADP is going to be such a nice value there. Nick Chubb, good late season upside, but I'm a little worried about him. Good value, though, pick 134. Braylon Allen, the handcuff to Breece. There is upside if Breece goes down. But receiver, Marvin Harrison, Zay Flowers, Jaden Reed, Jordan Addison. You sniped me on Jordan Addison. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Jerry Jeudy, Ricky Pearsall, Michael Wilson, Tyler Boyd. Decent depth, especially if Ayuk gets traded. Pearsall has league-winning potential. You got him at a value. But he is injured. That's a little concerning. And then tight end, Laporta, Ben Sinnott. Very good combo. If you're going to go with Laporta, gambling on a guy like Sinnott makes a lot of sense. So good team, good stacks. That Daniel Jones pick is a little suspect, but could be worse. There is some rushing value. And you got him at a big ADP value. So decent team, Albie. Let's do another one. Let's hop into another draft. If you guys want to draft with me, reminder, I'm on a 6-second delay. So, oh, they just dropped a puppy. They just dropped a puppy. Do we do the puppy? The puppy has higher payouts. It's only $5. I think I'm going to do a puppy. Yeah, let's do a puppy. Okay, so if you want to join me, hit that button right now, and I will join you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let us go. 4 spots left. 4 more spots. We will draft soon. One more spot. Now it's full. Got pick 9. I got pick 9. And I see Dev is in here with me at pick 7. Good to see you, pal. As always. And the pick between us is Ats always. So that's a good sign, is it? I don't know. But Puppy, $5 entry, much higher payouts. 100K to first. Like in the other one, you had to finish first to get 10K. Here you got to finish 10th to get 10K. And you do make your money back if you do make the playoffs. It appears that is the case. And you do have to finish first out of 10 in the playoff tournaments to advance. So not as good of a playoff advance rate, but still for $5, I think that's the way it should be. Like when you bet $5 on underdog, you want that higher payout. Like most people don't even make 100,000 in a year. If you make it off a $5 buy-in, that's pretty fucking awesome. So let's hope for the best. And Dev, you either plan to make a lot of money or lose everything. Yeah, I think anytime you make any deposit on underdog, you should kind of assume that like most of it is going to not come back to you. Like if you're not comfortable gambling, then don't come to this website. Do not deposit money you're not comfortable losing. In the 12-team leagues, it's a little more likely that you make money. You have at least a 1 in 4 chance to make those buy-ins back. But here in the tournaments, like we're shooting for the fence, and we are gambling, hoping for the best. But wow, at pick 9, I get Jefferson to fall. Let's go Jefferson for sure. Hell yeah. 4 picks past ADP. I'll take it. We just took him in the last draft at pick 6. Pick 9. Let's fucking go. Dev says I'm going to kill it in $3 drafts this year. Yeah, I feel good about mine in those two, but I've done a lot fewer of those this season. I've been hitting the tournaments a lot more. I'm swinging for those big payouts this season. Last year I was kind of more conservative with it. This year I believe in my ability, but this is interesting. Given I got such a good value on Jefferson, I think I'm probably just going to take the highest ranked ADP guy. I'd prefer to take Gibbs. I'd much rather have Jahmyr Gibbs here, but no, I do not get him. I don't love Drake London, but there's not going to be many teams with the combination of London and Jefferson. And London is a fine receiver to take in the second round. I wish you could get him in the late second round. I think this is still kind of overpriced on Drake London, but for the sake of uniqueness, it would be counteracting any of the value I got on Jefferson at pick 9 to take a guy that usually goes at like pick 20. Like if I took Saquon there, who we took in the last draft, who usually pairs up with Jefferson a lot, that would kind of completely negate any of the value I get with Jefferson falling to me at pick 9. So gonna go London. Wish I got Gibbs. Would have loved to have Jahmyr Gibbs there. But London's fine. London is poised for a breakout season, finally playing with a good quarterback. So let's hope for the best. Maybe we go Kyle Pitts in the 6th round as well. Maybe this is a Kirk Cousins team. Maybe. I'm not going to say I'm locked into that. But Dev, you go double running back with Bijan and Saquon. Bold strategy. Let's see how it works out. I haven't been hating those drafts as much lately because there are some decent values at receiver. You just gotta pound receiver quite a bit. Let's see how it works out for you. But after I go London, we see Waddle, Saquon, A-Chain at pick 19, followed by Cooper Kupp, Nico Collins, Chris Olave, Malik Neighbors, Devontae Adams, Devontae Smith, Brandon Ayuk, Mike Evans so far. Kyron Williams goes to the team at 4 with Jamar Chase and Nico Collins. I like team 4 quite a bit. Derrick Henry goes 29th to the team with Amon-Ra and Cooper Kupp. And we'll see what happens in these next 3 picks before our own. But again, DK Metcalf is falling. Very interesting. I would love to get Metcalf, but no, I do not. I will take... I'm going to take Tank Dell. Give me Tank Dell. This way I can go with kind of any position I want. In round 4, I know that receiver is not the same in the 5th round. Pacheco goes 34. I was considering either Tank Dell there or Pacheco. But given the Lockett injury, we just saw Tyler Lockett fall to pick 136. Shouldn't DK Metcalf be rising up the board, not falling past pick 30? Wouldn't that make a little more sense? So, I understand the reason to take Diggs there, Dev, but I think passing on DK was maybe not the right move. Wow, Terry goes 37. Jesus Christ. I do not like that pick by Team 12. But Laporta gets taken. Amari Cooper at 35. Pittman falling. That's weird also. What does Queso Fresco do? They go Rashee Rice. Huh? I'll take the value on Pittman. With Josh Downs hurt, I think Pittman's a better option. So, okay, yeah, let's do it. We're not really dependent on Drake London anymore. With this start, we have 4 top 30 receivers, in my opinion. Jefferson, Drake London, Tank Dell, Michael Pittman at pick 40. I would still be drafting Pittman above Rashee Rice, Terry McLaurin. Maybe not T. Higgins or Amari Cooper, but he's in the same tier as them, that's for sure. So now we're open for an Anthony Richardson selection. Richardson goes 44. Above Jalen Hurts, above Mahomes and Lamar. Like, this is interesting, man. This is an interesting draft. Okay. But Dev says people think Rashee Rice is better than he really is. I think the hype is starting to get a little out of hand, but this team with Pacheco and Rashee does like their Chiefs, but it's going to be a hard reality for those guys. It's going to be even harsher if he does get suspended at like the end of the season. That's still possible. He could be suspended for like 5 games starting in week 11, and you just get fucked for the fantasy playoffs. Like that's still on the board with Rashee Rice. It's not a guarantee that it gets pushed all the way to 2025. It's more likely it happens in 2025, but it's not impossible that he gets suspended at the end of the year. So that's why I'd still rather take a guy like Zay Flowers, Michael Pittman, T. Higgins, Amari Cooper, even George Pickens above Rashee Rice. Until Pickens gets traded, I would still rather take Pickens than Rashee. But wow, I got such good value on Pickens in the last draft. We took him at 54. He goes 42 in this draft. But after Richardson goes, we see Christian Kirk followed by Travis Kelce falling, Jalen Hurts at 47, Trey McBride, Travis Etienne, Mark Andrews, Mahomes to the team with Kelce. That's pretty nice. And then Lamar Jackson at 52, followed by Rachaad White. And Rachaad White over Josh Jacobs. That's weird. Dev, you take Jacobs. Of course you do. I know you like Jacobs. But I've got 4 really good receivers. I don't love taking Pitts in the 5th, so I'm going to go with James Cook here. Would have loved to have Jacobs, but of course, picking after Dev, I will not get him. But yeah, there's a lot of value in this draft. People are definitely getting their guys. I love it too. Let's fucking go. This is an interesting lobby. But wow, the team with Josh Allen gets Kincaid. That's nice, but they only have one receiver. We'll see how that works out for him. Godwin, 58. Joe Mixon, Keenan Allen, Kenneth Walker, Deontay Johnson. And I think I'll go Kyle Pitts. I don't normally go Kyle Pitts, but it's good to mix him in every now and then. We have 4 really good receivers, so I don't need receiver. Although I could justify it, but I'm going to go with Kyle Pitts. Let's take a swing that he really pays off. He's a wild card this season, and you really don't see me do it on the live stream. I'm very underweight Kyle Pitts, but if I have London set up for a double stack with Cousins, it's worth trying. Because if I am wrong about Pitts, he could have an elite season. He could be the only tight end that goes over 1,000 yards. Last year it was George Kittle. George Kittle was the only one that did that last year. And if you look at Kyle Pitts' rookie season, he put up what would have been the most receiving yards last season in his first year. So let's hope for the best. I don't love his value here. I do think Kittle is actually a better pick in best ball, but there is a world where Pitts does pay off his ADP, and now I'm chasing the Cousins stack. Dev likes picks, thinks he's going to crush this year. I think he'll be okay, but he could definitely finish top 3. It's not impossible for that to happen, because other than London, it's just Darnell Mooney in that offense that can catch passes. Bijan catches passes, but Pitts is arguably their number 1 receiver this year. It could work out. I also love the Falcons' playoff schedule. The Falcons have a rough one to start off the year. I think they kind of start off slow. They get the Steelers. Is this the Falcon schedule? Yeah. The Steelers, the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Saints, the Bucks, the Panthers, the Seahawks, the Bucks, again, the Cowboys. Those first 9 weeks are brutal. Another divisional matchup against the Saints, followed by Denver on the road. After the bye, though, amazing fantasy schedule. The Chargers, the Vikings, the Raiders in week 15, the Giants in week 16, and then the Commanders in week 17. The playoff schedule is fucking dope for the Falcons. Really high upside there. But kind of want to go with Evan Ingram here, but I think I'm going to go Najee Harris. I need running back a little bit more than tight end. Maybe I can pair him with a Jaylen Warren, but I think from a floor standpoint, Najee's going to be really good in a contract season. In the Arthur Smith offense, the usage might be fucked. That is a variable, but the offensive line is improved. There's a safety net with Najee that I do like. But Warren might have more upside. Wouldn't shock me if Warren actually is the better pick. But wow, Evan Ingram falls even further. Might go Evan Ingram here. What is Queso Fresco going to do? Goes Curtis Samuel. All right. 11 picks past ADP. I can definitely talk myself out of Kyle Pitts. There is a bit of a scary pick there. So at a massive value, I'm going to go with Evan Ingram. And now we're done at tight end. Damn it. Fucking week 12 double bye. Of course. Of course that's what happens. Damn it. Okay. Whatever. We're probably going to get a 0 week 12. Who cares? At tight end, it's justified. At tight end, I can accept the consequences of that decision, but not ideal. Not great. of all the combinations, of course, a double week 12 bye at tight end. But I still like this team quite a bit. We obviously don't get Stroud or Richardson to stack up, but still in line for a Darnold stack, in line for a Kirk Cousins stack as well. I need that Cousins stack. That's a pick I kind of need to make. I'm probably going to have to reach on him at 136 just to be safe, because I really don't see him falling to 153. He usually goes at like pick 140. So 4 picks above ADP, that's not bad. But maybe I should have just gone Jake Ferguson there. But yeah, I may have overreacted a little bit. It's just it's not ideal. It's definitely not ideal, but it's probably not that bad to have 1 week with a 0 at tight end. It's always possible that you draft someone that doesn't have the same bye and they also put up a bagel at tight end. That's not impossible to happen. So at the moment, I have the best tight end room in this draft with Kyle Pitts and Evan Ingram. At the moment, Trey McBride, Brock Bowers with Team 1 is definitely giving me a run for my money. And I'm kind of happy that another team goes with double tight end, because now there's going to be a bit more of an urgency at the position moving forward. But Addison falls to pick 99. That's a good value on Addison there. But 11 picks past ADP on Ingram. That's really nice. Very, very nice. But we'll see what happens here. I'd be comfortable with a Jaden Daniels selection. I probably get sniped, though. I expect to be sniped here. He goes Tyjae Spears. All right, let's go Jaden Daniels. Elite upside. League winning potential with Jaden Daniels. Also 7 picks past ADP. Let's fucking go. Could have gone with Hopkins there. Falling ADP 89, currently on the board still at 107. If Hopkins is there at 112, I'll take Hopkins. But I do kind of need running back. Ignoring running back might be a bad decision, because we have really good receivers. We only have 4, but they're really good. I would have liked Brian Robinson there. To pair with Jaden would have been nice. Don't love Devin Singletary, in all honesty. Strictly a floor play and a terrible offense, but Hopkins continues to fall. Pick 112, ADP 89. Okay, I'll take it. Hopkins or Rashid Shaheed? I'll take Hopkins. He was already a great value at 105. He falls 2 full rounds in this draft. Dev goes double tight end as well with Njoku and Goddard, and I appreciate it, man. Let's force the issue at tight end here. There's still 3 teams without one. That's going to be a bit of a boat race for them at that position later on. They're going to be forced to take 3, and we will be getting good values at this turn. Like the short turn for me and you, Dev, when these teams are forced to take tight end, we're going to get some really good values because of that. I appreciate you going with Goddard there and being another 2 tight end team. The teams on this long side of the turn, they've got good options, so they're not going to be desperate. But on the short turn, we're going to get some good values, in my opinion, at other positions. But Purdy is falling. Goddard might be very underpriced for sure. He's obviously the tier break at the position. In my opinion, you can't replicate the same value of Goddard once he's off the board. There's a world where Hawkinson, plays a lot. Like once that week 6 bye in Minnesota is over, it's possible he's like almost 100% in the other 12 games, but more than likely Hawkinson isn't like 100% until like week 10 at the earliest. So Hawkinson's the only one that like comes close to what you get from Goddard. Goddard's a very safe pick in the 10th round. It's just a question of does your build up to that point allow you to take him? And I think yours does. You have Dak, you've got 3 really good running backs. Your running back room is fucking stacked, bro. With Bijan, Saquon, Jacobs, like, good job there. Receiver, you could have hit Cooks at that spot. If I left Hopkins for you, you definitely probably could have gone Hopkins. But you go Mike Williams here. You're addressing the position, and that's fine. Lawrence falls. That's interesting. But I think I'm going to go with A.D. Mitchell. Actually, no. I'll take Nick Chubb. Oh, thankfully, I get Eckler. Eckler pairs up with my Jaden Daniels pick. Yeah. Eckler is the better pick there. They're both like right at ADP, so it's kind of whatever. Because I have Daniels, it's better for me to have Eckler. Eckler catches passes. I missed out on Brian Robinson, and it looked more like a 50-50 split between Robinson and Eckler in the preseason. So perhaps Eckler has more value than we've given him credit for. But with Jaden Daniels, I'm happy to have Eckler on my team. I would love to gamble that Kirk Cousins comes back around, but I just don't think I'm going to get him. I'm going to take Kirk Cousins here because I'm set up for the stack. I have London, I have Pitts. I really want the stack. And his ADP is 144. I'm here at 136. And I just don't see him coming back to 153. I would have loved to go Mooney there and try to get Cousins coming back around, but we already see Deshaun Watson off the board. I think I was right to play it safe and just take the stack that I've set myself up for in Cousins. Sometimes it's worth gambling. We do have Jaden Daniels, so it wouldn't be the end of the world without it. But if I'm going to take Pitts with London, I really want to have Cousins as well. So that was the plan all along. I'd rather just stick to it. So I scared you into thinking Deshaun wouldn't slide. Interesting. Do you have multiple Browns? You do not. You just have Njoku. But Deshaun, I think, would have been on the board at 151. Every team at this long turn has a quarterback. They're also kind of highly invested in quarterback. And I don't think anybody had Amari Cooper either. There was a team with Jerry Jeudy at the turn. That would have been the only variable. So maybe he wouldn't have, but they have been going a lot more quickly lately. I have noticed that. The last couple weeks, quarterback has been coming at a premium. I mean, we just saw Sam Darnold go pick 159 earlier in this live stream. But Jahan Dotson is falling. That's interesting. Even behind Josh Downs. Wow. Chuba off the board. Do I go TJ Hawkinson? Let me know. Do I go TJ Hawkinson? I should probably just go Jahan Dotson with Jaden Daniels on this team. Nope. I'm very tempted to take Hawkinson because I know I'm going to go Darnold. But I do need running back I only have 3. I should probably go running back. Yeah, I'm just going to go running back. Yeah. It's a safer bet to not take three tight ends. I know I'm going with 3 quarterbacks. I'm going to take Darnold on this team. Most likely. Yeah, we'll just accept our fate, accept the 0 in week 12. But if he comes back around, I'm going to be considering it again. Okay, he gets sniped. It works out for me. Yeah. Works out. I wanted Michael Wilson. Wanted Michael Wilson. I could go Ray Davis because I have James Cook, but I think I'm going to go Marshawn Lloyd. I think he gets healthy at some point. I think he is better than A.J. Dillon. Yeah, I'll just take Marshawn Lloyd. Pick 160. He used to be going above pick 140. He is hurt at the moment. So, not like the best bet, but I really need running back depth. I only have James Cook, Najee Harris, Eckler, Jaleel McLaughlin, and Marshawn Lloyd. So, running back is definitely the safer approach on this team. 3 tight ends would have been crazy. Yeah, I didn't do it. Anyways, we see Will Levis, Jalen Tolbert go to Dev, who has Dak, Xavier Legette, Wan'Dale Robinson, Ray Davis, Tyler Conklin. Jalen Tolbert flying up the board lately. Flying up like crazy. Adam Thielen, Antonio Gibson. And yeah, I understand what you're saying, Dev. All these players are pretty similar, kind of all in the same bag, same bucket. If you're set up for a stack, might as well just take it. If you're worried you're going to get sniped on it. But this is the team so far. Jaden Daniels, Kirk Cousins, running back James Cook, Najee Harris, Austin Eckler, Jaleel McLaughlin, Marshawn Lloyd. I'm going to go Demarcus Robinson here. I think he's definitely the best receiver on the board. And I only have 5 at this point. I need a couple more. So give me DeMarcus. And then I'll probably go with like Tyrone Tracy, who's already running at practice again. That's great news. Resumed running and cutting with trainers to the side at Thursday's practice. Art Stapleton of the Virgin Record reports Tracy suffered a right low ankle sprain at Tuesday's practice, so it's encouraging. And he gets sniped. Damn it. I'm going to take Yoshi. Looking like the number 3 receiver in Cincinnati. Going to go with Yoshi. But Parker Bledsoe, related to Drew Bledsoe, I assume. Rate my 10-man. Rate my 10-man team. Dak, CMC, Josh Jacobs, CeeDee Lamb, MPJ, Michael Pittman Jr., McBride, and Mike Evans. Is this half PPR or is this full PPR? I like the CeeDee Lamb stack. I love the running back values. Really good options in McCaffrey and Jacobs. Michael Pittman, Mike Evans. Very solid depth at receiver. And then McBride, an elite tight end. Full PPR. I love McBride in full PPR. Love McBride in that spot. Really good team. Jacobs is an underrated pass catcher as well. He could catch 60 receptions this year. I wouldn't be completely surprised if that happened. So yeah, really good team in full PPR, 10 teams. I think that is pretty loaded. And you have a lot of flexibility because you have a good quarterback stacked up with the wide receiver 1. You also have the running back 1. So is this an auction format? Feels like it. That's kind of the only way I imagine you get both McCaffrey and CeeDee Lamb on the same team. And pretty solid depth behind Lamb, given some other really good options. So, yeah, love the team, man. I think you did it very well. I think you drafted very well. Good for you. Wow, Juwan Jennings, pick 195. Traded for CD. Interesting. Bo Nix went before Daniels. Do you mean Daniel Jones? I think you mean Daniel Jones. Bo Nix has upside, man. Bo Nix is a good floor play at this price. He will be starting pretty much all year in my view. And 2 years ago, he ran for over 500 yards at Oregon. Last year, he had a 77% completion percentage. I think Bo Nix is decent. I don't think Bo Nix is a bad selection. But here we are, and last draft was not a trend. We see Darnold fall, or at least go at appropriate value. I'm going to take him here in round 17. Not going to gamble that he doesn't come back around. I've got 3 quarterbacks, 5 running backs, 7 receivers, 2 tight ends. I also really love my receiver room, so I don't think I need a 8th guy there. I think I'd rather just take a 6th running back for this team. I might be pivoting back to CEH as well. Starting to feel decent about my 13% CEH investment. It could also burn me, but I don't think it's atrocious. Roshan, also interesting. Maybe I need a bit higher of a floor. Higher of a floor. Actually, what if Jeff Wilson gets traded? Just something to consider. I'm still going to go Roshan here. But what if Jeff Wilson gets traded? You know, like this is a hypothetical. I really have no idea what's going to happen. But doesn't it feel like the Miami Dolphins have a surplus of running backs? Like they've got 4. Jeff Wilson wasn't even really used last year when they only had 3. If you told me that, let's say, Baltimore loses Derrick Henry in like week 3 to a big injury, and they only have Justice Hill behind him, even if it's not Baltimore, even if it's like another team that is kind of thin in running back depth, would it really shock you if they traded for Jeff Wilson? I feel like Jeff Wilson is a sneaky guy to move teams. Like, maybe Zeke goes down and Dowdle sucks. Maybe the Cowboys would trade for him. I feel like Jerry Jones isn't going to make any moves, but I feel like Jeff Wilson is a legitimate trade candidate. And if you're going to draft a guy like Khalil Herbert with potential trade upside, I feel like Jeff Wilson could be one of those sneaky options that usually goes undrafted. He could be a 0, so could any other running back at that point. It's just something to consider. But I wanted to take a look at Dev's team before I sign off. Jeff Wilson is old, though. Yeah, but, like, some teams get desperate, man. Some teams get desperate. I'm just mentioning it, like if you want to go contrarian, I don't think it's like insane to consider it, but more than likely he's not going to offer any value. But let's take a look at Dev's full team before I sign off here. Quarterback, Dak Prescott, Deshaun Watson, Daniel Jones. Dak is stacked up with Jalen Tolbert. Deshaun Watson is stacked up with, David Njoku. And Daniel Jones, I believe, is unstacked. Pretty sure unstacked. Yeah, unstacked. So just hoping for upside with Daniel Jones. Not sure if he's necessary, but who knows? Maybe he runs for like 100 rushing yards one random game and you get like 30 points out of him. Like that's what he offers, like a random spike week that late in the draft. But running back is fucking like so good. Like this is an amazing running back room with Bijan, Saquon, and Josh Jacobs. Handcuffs, Braylon Allen, Dameon Pierce, strictly upside, not much of a reliance on them. So that's definitely the way to go if you're going to start with those 3 running backs in the first 5 rounds. Let's see what wide receiver looks like, because that's the trade-off. What do you get at receiver? Stephon Diggs is the number 1, followed by George Pickens, Rome Odunze, JSN at a value from ADP. I would have expected you have to reach on JSN given the Lockett situation, but not bad at all. Mike Williams, Jalen Tolbert, Jermaine Burton, Malik Washington, a little bit of just a hopeful investment there in Burton and Malik Washington, but who knows, maybe it works out. Receiver, you knew it was going to be a little bit dicey, but I think it worked out pretty solidly given the circumstances. Diggs could absolutely pay off. Pickens, I think, will return on 4th round investment. Rome, I love. JSN at a value, really excellent pick in the 7th round. Mike Williams, let's hope for the best with him. And then Tolbert with the stack definitely warrants a bit of a reach. So receivers, a little shaky, but the rest of the team is really good. And then tight end, fucking dope as fuck with Njoku and Goddard. Really nice team. Very good approach in this tournament. Like the team, Dev. Good luck to you, man. But Malik Washington is live to be wide receiver 3. Let's hope so. I took a ton of Malik Washington before the NFL draft. I really hope he does pay off a little bit. But that's going to be it for me in this draft. And I had fun. The sunlight is dissipating. I need to eat some dinner soon. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with another draft. But that's it for me tonight. Hope you had a good one. And I hope you have a good Thursday evening. Goodbye.